morning, everyone. Welcome to Strip Club.
Good morning.
My name is Danielle. I'm filming from San Diego, California at Cozy Quilt Shop. And today I want to show you our latest pattern called Chasing Windmills. Do you like it?
Yes.
Here we have 2.5-inch strips, background fabric, and accent. Our strips have this wonderful collection of blues and purples and golds and blacks, very rich. And our accent fabric is a beautiful blue with a little sparkle in it, and we pull that same blue out for border 2, and then we have border 3. So all you need to start with is some 2.5-inch strips, background fabric, and accent fabric. It is made of one simple block. Do you see the block?
Yes.
Would you like to see the block?
Yes.
There it is. You see how simple it is? I'm going to show you how to put it together. It's very easy. It's just a block made in 4 parts, and we're going to break down each of the parts. Do you see the strips? Strip, and then here we have the accent in the center. The block is really made out of 4. You can kind of name the different components. Here we have the windmill. You see the windmill? We call this the broken square. You can see why it's called the broken square. And then in the corners, while you don't see it in one block, they're the pinwheels. When 4 of those corners come together, it will create the pinwheel effect, which is the secondary design in the quilt. I love secondary designs. I love watching blocks come together and create another element to make a whole quilt look like it's got a lot going on. It's not just squares of the same thing over and over again. So to make this, the pattern will tell you how many of each of the pieces to cut and what size. You will have some background squares and some accent squares. You will draw a diagonal line on some of your background squares like this. I know you can't see it because it's white on white. In our sample, we have a heavy dark line. You're going to make a fine line, a faint line on the back of the fabric. You take this background square, and you're going to place it on your print segment, like so. And then you're going to take that to your sewing machine, and you'll stitch a diagonal line towards the point. You'll stitch on that diagonal line just a thread towards the point to create a diagonal seam that goes this way. And then you're going to flip this piece over like that. Make sure the edges go to the point. When you're convinced that it does, you're going to flip it back, and then you're going to cut away the excess fabric behind it. So you're going to cut away this excess fabric. Do you follow all that?
Yes.
So you'll get a pieced diagonal piece. And you can see it will be this piece in the block. You follow? Right. So when you cut out the pieces, you'll keep them very organized so that when you sew the background fabric on your print fabric, you will sew 4 of the same pieces together and keep them as a set together because they will go into the same block. We're going to do the exact same technique, only this time we are going to place an accent fabric on the background fabric like this. Same thing, draw a diagonal line, stitch a thread towards the point, flip over the triangle. Now you can probably better see the effect. And there you create a segment with the diagonal seam. Easy, right? Mm-hmm. There is a trick to making it even easier. It's a fabulous tool called it's called a folded corner clipper. We add the fabulous. This is the folded corner clipper. This is a tool by Prairie Sky Quilting, and we absolutely love it here. The way this works, you will use this in place of drawing the diagonal line and in place of cutting away the excess fabric. So in order to do it, actually I'm going to show you on a demo board. So if you don't like drawing all those lines, which, I mean, come on, let's face it, a lot of lines on the back of the fabric, you can use this tool instead. This is our teaching demo for the fabulous folded corner clipper. So this is basically the traditional way of doing it. You see that? This is a traditional way, the way that I just told you. Diagonal line that we drew on the back, we place the square on the segment, sew a seam, just a stitch towards the point on that diagonal line, and then flip it over to create that same piece. Same piece I just showed you, right? Mm-hmm. Only now we're going to take our folded corner clipper ruler. When we place the background onto the print segment, there's no diagonal line. Take the ruler, place it on top of the two pieces together and slice away the edge, leaving a piece that looks like this. See the piece that looks like that? You'll take this as a set to your sewing machine, and with your 1/4-inch guide, you will sew the diagonal seam, the line that is not drawn. It'll just use your 1/4-inch guide up along the trimmed edge. And then you flip it over and you get exactly the same seam, only now you haven't had to draw the lines and your excess fabric is already cut away. Handy tool, right? Okay, so that's a little secret because you came today from me to you. Folded corner clipper by Prairie Sky Quilting. So that's an option if you don't want to draw the lines. Now we've made a bunch of these, 4 that are the same. We made a whole bunch of these because we're going to use them in the blocks. Now you want to see how the quadrant comes together?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to need your help. Because it's always different when I do it up here. Yeah, you're laughing because you know it. It's always different up here. Okay, so I have this piece. I think it'll go here. That flips over, right? Okay. And then, the broken square we add, to the segment that we cut for the broken square, we add a background square to it. And I think that piece will go here. And then for the final piece, which is the one we just made, that will go.
Turn it around.
No, wait.
Turn it upside down.
You guys are so helpful. So now I'll sew those 3 pieces together. Make 4 just like that. Twist and turn those 4 pieces together. It makes your block. It is just one simple block. It repeats. The 4 pinwheels, the 4 little triangles come together to make the pinwheel. And there you have your chasing windmill quilt. Not so hard at all, is it? No. Any questions? Did I show you a cool tip too?
Yes. Thank you.
So you can imagine this in many other colors.
Imagine
Imagine it with me.
How many other colors? Can you show us?
You are so spoiled.
Yes, we are.
I do have one other color sample for you. If you'd like to see,
Please.
because you asked so nicely. Look, I have pre-made blocks. Don't laugh at me.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah. Okay, so now we see 2 different blocks, different coloring, same concept. It's interesting how the lights and the darks play, especially on these 2 blocks. I think in this block, the windmill pops out a little bit more, and this one is the broken square that pops out. I love this effect.
Yes.
That it is hiding behind the windmill.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the pinwheels. This was designed by Georgette Delorco, by the way, so this is her design, not mine. That's my mom. Thank you, Lonnie. So here's another very different, very beautiful song.
That is so
All together now.
very Sammy.
This one is 3x4, so this is the lap quilt. Behind us hanging on the wall is the twin quilt. The twin uses 36 2.5-inch print strips plus the background and accent. This one, the lap, uses 18. So you could actually get 2 laps out of a strip set of 40. So if you buy 1 bundle of 40 strips, you could get 2 nice laps out of it. The pattern, as most of our strip club patterns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sizes. So if you want to make it bigger or you want to make it larger, it's all here for you. We almost always have one size that fits beautifully within the 40 strip collection, because we know most bundles on the market are 40 strips. In this case, it's the twin that's hanging up on the wall. and that is 36 strips. So you know if you have a bundle of 2.5-inch strips that have 40 different strips in it, or 40 strips, you know you're going to be able to make a twin size quilt. If you like the fabrics, you're going to love it. Yeah, and you can pull out 4 that you may not like as much or may be better in another project. So in this quilt, the accent, again, we pulled the same for border 2 as we have for the accent to make the pinwheel. If you want those to pop, to really shine, pick a more contrasting fabric, something that has a lot more, that grabs your attention a lot more. We like the soft look of this.
Yes.
Very different, huh? Very good?
Very good.
Do you have any questions about our chasing windmill pattern? Do you love the name?
Yes.
I can picture Don Quixote trying to make it. Well, if there are no questions, that's all I have for you today. Come back next month and we'll do another pattern that uses 2.5-inch strips.